Hello and welcome to a series of short interviews with speakers who will be at the University of Cincinnati Center for Business Analytics Spring Conference, Analytics Summit 2024. I'm Tim Scholvat, the Executive Director of the Center. We're pleased to have with us today one of our speakers from the AI Revolution track, Brandon Lee. Brandon is the founder of FistBump. They add a modern flywheel to unstick your funnel, which is really targeting social engagement with customers and prospects. Hello, Brandon. Looks like you're traveling along through Atlanta.
Yeah, as I telling you before, sorry. I was supposed to be at my location and like 45 minutes earlier and then an accident hit and here I am. So I apologize.
No worries, not a problem at all. So, Brandon, mass connecting with customers on a personal level is tough, but that seems to be what you've done at FistBump. Maybe you can tell us a bit why you started the company.
Yeah, so I started Fist Bump because we were helping sales companies leverage, LinkedIn especially as a tool to build relationships. There's a lot of companies out there where if people think about LinkedIn, they think about all the cold and unwanted mass emails and messages they get, direct messages in LinkedIn. We were doing it very differently. We were helping sales teams create content, post content, and comment on other people's content in order to build those kind of rapport and relationships. And what we found is they just really struggled. People were very talented, very skilled, had a ton of experience. They'd sit down to create a post or write a comment and they'd go, I don't know what to say. And so we started with Fist Bump, moved from coaching to a done for you concierge service as a way to help them. And what we found is we've got to go take these people's experiences and career and history and personalities in person and help them create content for them. And that was a challenge.
Yeah, and it's difficult, as I said, to take it from that mass, almost boiler room that the some sales cultures have fallen into, and
Yeah,
use AI to personalize it to to that individual or small group of individuals, because it's that messaging that how you connect with customers.
absolutely. And we talk a lot about looking at LinkedIn through the lens of like a 24/7, 365 conference. We bring a lot of our people to the event. They want to go out and build deeper relationships or meet the targeted people that are relevant to them in their job, and they go have conversations with them. But LinkedIn is a digital event. It's 24/7, 365. All your prospects, all your industry, everybody's there that you want to talk to, meet, and influence. But getting our team to, quote, show up means they have to talk. And we know how to put people on a plane and send them to an event, and they know how to put on their badge and walk around and meet people and shake hands and talk. But translating that and doing that in
Yeah,
LinkedIn, it's hard for people. It's a different muscle.
yeah.
Even people that have a ton of experience, they know what they're talking about, they're confident, they can have a great conversation with anybody, but you sit them down to write a post or to comment on someone else's post, and they go, I don't know what to write. So that's really the challenge that we were helping solve. We saw how LinkedIn was building qualified pipeline. We saw how to do it. We create a system. I mean, we have an entire system on how to do it. And when we were coaching people on how to do it for themselves, there's just a lot of failure because as much as they wanted to do it, that fear and that challenge of actually producing content for themselves consistently in light of their other job or their real job, that was the challenge. And
Yeah,
with Fist Bump,
and I'm sorry, go ahead.
now, as I say, with Fist Bump, our goal was how do we help them? Like, how do we do this? And that was a frustrating point for us, is
Yeah.
that we really wanted to help customers win, and we saw this challenge, and we're like, now we got to go figure out how to solve this challenge in order to help them win.
And I know during your talk, you're really going to focus on how you're leveraging AI in that whole solution. So what are you going to cover in your talk, and what do you want people to take away from your discussion?
Yeah, so generative AI is opening up all kinds of opportunities. So if you take the challenge that I just shared, is we have very qualified people with great experience, great stories, great knowledge, but they don't know how to write for themselves, or they're scared to write and produce content. Um, what I want people to see is that we can use generative AI beyond just ChatGPT. At least in sales and in the LinkedIn world right now, ChatGPT came on the scene and everyone's like, "Oh, AI, AI, AI," and started using it. And there was a lot of what I'll call bad players out there that had these AI tools like, "Oh, you can create posts, you can create this, and you do," but it was generic.
Yeah.
It was just generic. It wasn't personalized. So, what I want to show is how we can use generative AI. We built on top of, we're integrated with OpenAI, but we built our own proprietary platform on top of it. And we do two things. One we call AIQ, which is like the IQ brain of the company. So we know we build it for their industry. It's all private. This, the, the general internets and give out private data of a company, but we build it so we know the company, their brand, their messaging, their strategy, their positioning, their competitors, their value proposition. It knows everything about the business so that we can create content for them that's positioned properly for the brand. And then we built a second layer to our AI. And this is where I think companies, it's going to be extremely important. And we call it Twin It, but it allows individuals to, in a sense, twin their brain. They can go into the platform and answer questions. They can upload conversations they've had, or talks they've given, or emails they've written. We're really trying to get all that information out of their head in a way that's comfortable for them, so they could actually just log in and click a microphone button and answer questions verbally. Because when we speak, we're giving our most authentic voice to who we are. When we write, we start to craft a message, and it's no longer who we are. So we're taking all that information and we train a twin. Again, it's private, it doesn't go anywhere, but it allows them to more efficiently create social content, email content, article content, and comments inside of LinkedIn, so that they can have this more consistent and continuous presence, building relationships in LinkedIn, just like we want them to do when they go to a conference. We spend all this money to get them on a plane and put them in a hotel and go to a conference, and we say, go meet people, go meet the people you're supposed to meet and build relationships. We do that exact same thing, except it's 24/7, 365 inside of LinkedIn. Except this year, it's 366 because, leap year.
And obviously, I love the passion that you bring to this. Why do you think this is especially relevant in today's world?
Sales has gotten hard, and I think you and I talked about this before. Sales has a really bad reputation right now. I think the perception of the used car salesman has gotten even worse into all areas of sales. Don't get me started on my soapbox of where sales made some changes around 2011, and we've automated messages, we've automated phone calls, we've done a bunch of stuff, and buyers don't have to take it anymore. They don't need sellers to do their research.
Yeah.
So my passion behind it, why this is so important, is LinkedIn and other content platforms are essential for people to build relationships now. We're consuming so much more content on our mobile devices. We're consuming so much more content digitally that we need to figure out, how do we empower and encourage and build confidence with people to create content out of their own head, from their own experience, that's in their own words, that's their content, but help them create it in a more efficient way, so they don't sit around and go, I don't know what to write.
Yeah.
Because they do know what to say. They just don't always have to write it. And for us, our world with their funnel, we know the value of LinkedIn. We've seen the systems, know the playbook. We can operationalize the playbook, but we need them. We need their words. We need their experience to put into this content. And that was a challenge that we needed. And I'm very grateful for the timing of generative AI, because before generative AI, it was too expensive. It was too time consuming. And we were struggling, and our customers were struggling with trying to get their voice into a digital environment.
Well, thank you for your time today, Brandon. We're looking forward to your talk. It should be really fascinating. So, if you want to see,
Sure, and I promise I won't be in a car for the talk. I'll actually be, outside and not have a seatbelt on. I feel so bad. I apologize.
No worries at all. Come and see Brandon and other speakers at the Analytics Summit 2024 in Sharonville on April 30th. We're going to continue with interviews with other speakers as well to give you a taste of what you're going to see when you come to the conference. Thank you very much.